All right. So. We're gonna be doing a little yap session for the remainder of the stream. It's gonna be like, we're going to be doing a yap session here, talking about a bunch of different topics about the game, what we think should be added to the game, what we don't think should be added to the game, which direction the game is going, and all of that stuff. So that's what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna tell Elegance to come over in a second, and we're gonna get started, chat, all right? What up?
What's good?
What's good? Okay.
Time to get to it, I guess.
Time to get to it.
Hashtag save siege and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Where should we start?
There's a lot to bring up.
There's a lot to unpack here.
There's a lot to unpack here. I think we'll just speak about the obvious first, like what? Save siege?
Like everyone says this, the default stuff, right? Like say it's cheaters, blah. But I think like cheaters is like, people see cheaters as like 100% of the problem. Do you not think?
Yeah, which is not the case at all.
No, I think people see it's like, they see it as like 100% of the problem. It's probably like 25% of the issue, I would say.
Well, we did the numbers, right? We did the numbers and we realized it's only like 25% of the players that actually deal with the cheaters, and the big cheaters are on PC.
Yeah.
So it's not crazy amount of cheaters.
And then obviously on the console, there's what are they called?
Simmers.
Elo
trappers, simmers.
Yeah, I think the Zimmers is whatever. To be honest, like, I think that's whatever. Like, I think it's just you're fighting a losing battle and it's a waste of time to try and get rid of Zimmers, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a waste of time. Don't really need any after. I mean, people say it's cheating. It is cheating, but it's not like they have an unfair advantage, is what it's better to say. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're cheating.
Yeah.
Like, they're not rage hacking. They don't know where you are. And Siege is not a game, like, where, you know, if you're playing CSGO, controllers versus PC, you're going to get smoked. Mm-hmm. But Siege as a controller, like, we've seen Stomping and you 1v1s, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you could, like, the game is not all about that. So, like, it's an unfair advantage. It's not really cheating. I don't think it's a massive problem. They put way too much time towards trying to fix that, to be honest.
What do you think we should do? Maybe we should do a list of the things we want to bring out, like make some topics.
I have some from the meeting we had with Ubisoft, actually.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that too as well, chat. Just give us a second. Let me just make a little notepad.
Let me copy and paste this all over on this and send you on Discord.
Yeah, I'm just gonna open up a notepad right now on my desktop.
Alright, there's everything that we brought up in the meeting with Ubisoft. As you guys know, there was a meeting with Ubisoft and content creators a few weeks ago. I'm sure that you guys saw that. Yeah, a lot of guys saw that, and yeah, these are the points that we basically brought up in the meeting. Bunch of content creators spoke with Ubisoft because obviously the problems had got quite bad. Ubisoft had seen the hashtag Save Siege, and obviously they wanted to try and have a clear dialogue, I guess you could say, like give people a bit of insight as to what was going on. Some people felt like the meeting was productive, others not. I will be honest in saying that I don't think it was productive. Willie couldn't be there, so I took his place in the meeting, and basically me and him, we talk about this stuff all the time, we speak about this all the time, right? Like,
yeah,
we talk about this all the time, what we think would be better, and obviously we see the comments from you guys. There's thousands to hundreds of thousands of you guys now, so you know we've had enough time to kind of see what the community would like to see, right? Mm-hmm. And the meeting felt like it was a different thing because we never really get to speak to Ubisoft ever about anything, so that was good, and they were honest, to be honest. Like if we mentioned something, they would give us an answer. Like that was never a problem. And obviously, in regards to cheating and stuff like that, I'm not even going to mention that. I don't think it's even worth mentioning anymore.
No, I think everyone is aware of the issue.
Everyone is aware of cheating, and just banging on that drum is just a waste of fucking time. Let's be honest here. Like, so in the meeting, we obviously discussed, like, everyone kind of got a moment to speak if they wanted to and raise kind of the problems that they thought were a problem. And there was, you know, some stuff in there that was good, some stuff in there that was bad, like, in my opinion at least. And what it felt like to me was, and again, nothing that we say is like in bad faith to Ubisoft, right? Like,
yeah, we just want what's best for the game.
What's best for the game. Like,
yeah.
I would say that me and Willie have actively been some of the people who actually try and do things in a constructive way, you know? Like, There's not a lot of tier 2 tournaments. We try and make that. Like, there's too many cheaters in ranked, so we try and make hubs with prizes to get people to play. You know, like, we've always been trying to, and even through times now when you're seeing content creators saying, oh, I might quit the game. We have Macy J, who is actually gone.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, Macy J. Macy J, bro. That is Mr. Rainbow Six Siege right there. Like, he like absolutely loves the game, and he is gone. So we should know that something is fucking wrong, right?
Yeah.
Macy J is gone. Jinxie is gone. Jinxie is gone. Macy J is gone. And that is because, and they're two people that have been around, like, probably since the start, right? Like, they've been going, they've complained, they've made their, you know, they've said what they have to say to Ubisoft and everything like that. Jinxie said he might be back. Bro, Jinxie loves the game. It's not a case of, Macy J loves the game, bro. Like, they both love the game. Like, they're not gone because, like, they don't want to play Siege. Like, they're just saying that, like, they hate this version of Siege. And what the main thing to take from this is that we can all agree Siege was an amazing game once upon a time, and for a long time, right? That wasn't with, like, more content or anything like that, right? That was just, like, the game ran better. It was faster.
Well, Ubisoft, yeah.
It was faster, like, it was, like, that was what everyone got into Siege for, am I right? Like, if you first started, you've seen Bolo, you've seen players like that, quick peeking and fast movement, so the game is just not what it used to be in that respect. They took everything out of Siege that made it unique, and it's just gone.
Yeah.
So that's from a gameplay perspective.
I mean, we're like this if you look at the state of the game right now, you have like you said, Macy J left. I think Uzi announced that he was gonna leave or something.
He made a video saying that, like,
Yeah.
he and obviously with good reasoning why he would want to leave.
Yeah.
I will say we probably will never say that. That we're gonna quit the game or whatever. Love the game, right? Like,
yeah,
he
no,
like
of
loves
course.
the game. Loves it so much that he plays professionally 8 hours a day and then streams the other 8 hours. Like, he's, you know, like, you won't see that from.
Oh yeah, Richie's gone too. Yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah, Richie's got, like, Jinxieverse is just gone. Stompin's gone to pro play, not making content anymore, because at least he's safe within that little scrim bubble, you know? Like, he can still enjoy the game.
Yeah. I mean, like, as a pro, how the game is right now doesn't really affect pro players as much.
It's such a small amount of people, right?
Yeah, because it's such a small amount of people.
Yeah,
but like when it comes to like creators and like people actually making the game grow that way, it's very hard to make content.
Yeah.
And everyone's views have gone down. We were gonna show this as well.
That's a point that we'll get to as well. Like,
Yeah.
I think that, like, we can see this, like, what the main points of the meeting, and I'll be honest about where the disappointment comes from, and I said this at the time, is that they have things that are priority to them that I don't feel as though, and I feel as though the broader community, like people who rarely play the game often, and this filters down even to a casual, even more so probably for casual players, it just felt as though they didn't know what we actually wanted. Like, for example, there is still changes, there's still development happening to Dual Front. And don't get me wrong, maybe some of you like Dual Front. Like, I'm not even going to dispute that. But the majority of players, I think it's fair to say, do not play Dual Front and have no interest in playing Dual Front. It's only a very small amount of content creators, and it's not the larger ones. It's usually the smaller ones with a more niche community who really care about the, you know, those kind of really niche innuendos of the game. And yeah, I just think I think that's a waste of time, personally.
Yeah.
It's okay to be like another thing, right? But it can't be a focus.
No, that's the issue as well. It is the focus.
It's a focus of things,
because
right?
it's clearly not a game mode like, let's say, the game mode we're getting tomorrow with the new Halloween one. It's not one of those where it's only out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I also mentioned that I like the events personally, like, and I know that a lot of people, it's content, right? Like the Showdown, Rainbow's Magic, the Western Showdown, like all of these different kind of previous events that we've had. They're great, and I think we need more of those, to be honest. More unique ones every month. Like, we need that more often. That's very obvious to say. So yeah, the main things, and we can look at the list. Like, we can go through the list at the same time, is what I'm saying. This was the list that me and Willie made, and these were our main points that we wanted to give to Ubisoft, right?
Yeah.
This was the things that we felt as though should be heard. And I'll go through kind of the rationale behind all of these, right? So with everything going on at Ubisoft right now, I think it's fair to say that it's the turnaround speed of things that people are not happy with. It takes too long to do anything.
Well,
even things that we think is basic. And obviously I'm not a game designer, so I can't say. But I did have conversations following my meeting with Ubisoft with some pretty senior developers, and they have told me it shouldn't take this long. It's obviously not a priority. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So to deal with turnaround times and development times, and it takes so long to get things done, I think that brings us to our first point, is the sandbox in creative mode. So like, you know, we can't turn around content that maybe everybody wants, right? Like the developers at Ubisoft don't have the time to do what everyone wants. So that's exactly why developing a sandbox or creative mode makes the most sense.
Yeah. And I don't know what happened with like when CGX got released, if it's on a new engine or what it might be.
Yeah, that was like a really great area.
That was I'm not sure if that was actually something they upgraded or not, because the servers right now are kind of pretty much the same, if not worse, in terms of like DDoS servers.
Hit reg and stuff like that is way
hit
worse
reg. So I'm actually not sure if that was something they actually changed going into CGX. But however, what we were saying about the sandbox / creative mode, so think of it like, if there's any Fortnite fans in the chat, like you guys can play like these 1v1 maps.
Anything.
Yeah, anything.
Legit
like,
anything.
Anything. And on CSGO, you have all these workshop maps. That's what we're trying to find. We're trying to find a space for that in Siege. Because with that being added to Siege, then the developers, if they don't have to pretty much spend as much time.
They don't have to spend any
time, any resources, pretty much, for that matter.
And people go, oh, Fortnite's not Siege. Then that's why I've mentioned CSGO. Some of their greatest maps that are literally in the competitive pool for Counter-Strike are made by the community. Like that, is that not like a massive thing? Like that, there's literally 2 AAA titles that have this, and it obviously solves that. So yeah, I feel like that's super necessary. Like we've missed so many big booms and things like that now, like that we're not gonna get any of that back, you know? Like the 1v1 thing became huge. I'm sorry, but if I feel like we were so lucky to have Jinxie to begin with, to be honest, and I think that's something that a lot of people in Siege definitely took for granted, was Jinxie, 100%. Yeah. Because
biggest streamer in the world.
Yeah, bro, he was the biggest streamer in the world, and still is one of the very, you know, when you think biggest streamer in the world, these top 3, top 5.
I think his ceiling was bigger than any other streamer.
Bro, Kai Cenat said that.
Bro, imagine if Jinx did a Kai Cenat concept with the same production team, bro. He would be like.
But he just kept it real, bro. He did what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
like he does what he wants to do, and that's be a gamer, you know. And I truly believe. And bro, he had. Do you know in his peak how many people told him go play a different game? Go play a different game. Go play a different game.
IRL.
And he was like, no, bro, I'm playing fucking Siege. This is my game. I don't care that I got big. This is my game. So that should tell you that, like, and we lost him to a fucking mobile game. I'm sorry, bro. We lost him to a mobile game. We lost him to Clash Royale. It's not even, like, close to being the same, is it? Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I wouldn't blame him if he didn't come back. Because he feels probably the same as a lot of people feel, and that's that nothing changes. None of the things that we actually ask for changes, at least. And you know, like I said, we're not all experts. We can't all say that, like, you know, this is all easy stuff, but it should at least be in focus. I just think that the roadmap at Ubisoft is wrong. That's my opinion. I just don't think it's the right direction. And I feel like a lot of the community agree with that. Like, I don't think it's a crazy thing to say, but
that's for the creative.
I just think that adds a lot. No, like that solves a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, Fortnite Battle Royale, here's a stat for you guys. Fortnite Battle Royale, right? The game that everybody grew up probably playing, a lot of you guys in the chat right now. It's like, that Battle Royale now has less players than the creative maps.
Yeah.
The creative maps in Fortnite, which is one of the biggest games in the world, has more players than the Battle Royale.
That's honestly insane.
And you could, you know, I think that you should just allow people to have the option. Like, I don't see I think that should be, when I mentioned this, like, this is why I'm mentioning it now, is that this was not a priority when I mentioned it. Like, it was not a priority at all. The ranked rework was the priority, which, don't get me wrong, definitely needs to happen. I just don't know what's going on.
I actually heard that ranked 2.0 was going to get addressed, but it's going to take a year's time.
A year's time.
A year's time.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, so we had people like Macy J saying he was going to leave if things didn't change. So you're going to tell me that that means that we have 0% chance of getting Macy J back. 0%. Mm-hmm. Because he's not going to come back after a year. After a year of trying a whole new title, you know? Like, and I just feel like I don't want to lose, like, if we lose more and more creators, like, that is the way that, you know, things go negatively. And we're not sat here being one of those people saying, you know, we're going to leave. We're actively trying to stop that from happening.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen. We want the game to be back where, like, you know, it's supposed to be. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that Ubisoft is going, our job or, like, what we want to do is fail. I don't believe that that's what they want to do. I just think that there's got to be a problem somewhere in the team as to what the priorities are. That's just my opinion. I just feel like the priorities are wrong. And if things are taking this long to roll out, like roll out changes, like, again, I'm not a game developer, right? But even if we revert back to rank 1.0, whilst we wait for 3.0,
that would be fine. No?
Just put it anything but what is going on right now. Get rid of this. Like, just go back to what it was. Like, surely I'm not being ignorant to say that you could just go back.
I believe that things definitely take too long, especially because rank 2.0 has been out for like what, 3 years?
Yes, and everybody hated it from the second it came out.
Yeah.
Like, everybody did.
And now it's gonna take another year for them to like address it. And I don't have a problem with them addressing stuff. It just takes too long. And especially in the state where the game is right now, in terms of viewership, and in terms of the player base, it's like let me just hide my screen real quick while I open up a new tab. What's that? Steam charts, right? Steam charts. So if we take too long to actually address things, if we're looking at the Steam charts right now, I wish I could pull up the same thing but for YouTube stats. I know that's not a thing, but we can just compare a bunch of different creators after a while and show you guys. But if we just search up Rainbow Six Siege here, if it actually shows up right here. So if it takes a full years of time, if you guys already look at the fourth latest month, if we just keep on going, in a year's time, where do you guys think the average player base is gonna be?
And obviously, like, every player's not on Steam, but I think that, like, it's an indicator, you know, of what is really going on.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't believe that cheating is the only reason that the player count is shrinking. And I hate when people say, oh, but CSGO has never changed anything. And look how many players they have. You know, it's not about content. And I massively disagree with that because the audiences are just massively different.
Very different.
Bro, people who've played CSGO have been playing, some of them have been playing for 20 years. Some of those players have played for 20 years. Like, the average player age is not the same age as ours. It's a completely different demographic. Like, it's just completely different. And I you know, Siege won't ever die. This is what people need to understand. Like, Siege won't ever die. It will, because Siege is a one-of-a-kind game. It has a hardened player base. Like, we can only go to a certain level, then it will just stop. But, like, we can't attract new players with the state of the way things are. That is just the facts. We cannot attract new players because everything that you hear about the game is negative, and that is the fault of creators, but that is not... You're making it seem like they shouldn't complain about their job, right? Like, if you're at work and you're not happy with the conditions that you work in, right? Like, you say that you're not happy and it affects your ability to do your job. It's like, it's not feasible forever if you know, things continue to shrink. Like, people will go to other alternatives, not because they want to, but because they're forced to. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like a big thing. So I see a lot of people say, you know, creators are complaining and they ruin things, and that is also true. We've complained about it since like year 3. No, but I think we've complained about different things. Yeah. Because, you know, maybe there was a lack of content, maybe there was a lack of skins, maybe there was a lack of all these things, but the game was good.
I think it's understanding where games are going as well. I mean, year 3, that's 7 years ago. How you attract customers in 7 years ago is vastly different than how you attract people now.
Yeah, the climate's just totally different.
Yeah, very different climate. It's very... Stuff these days, it's gonna be very short focused, so that's why shorts are taking over. TikTok, all that stuff. You have flashy skins in game. Look at Valorant.
Valorant and Fortnite and CS:GO have entire audiences, entire YouTube channels directed to just skins.
Yeah.
to just skins. There's people who are terrible at CS:GO, terrible at Fortnite, terrible at Valorant, but they're like, I got some sick skins though. I'm gonna run around with my favorite skins. Bro, we don't have any of that in Siege. Just super basic things like, why can we not have our knife out yet?
Using community content in Siege might be a PR issue from Marker here.
But what do you mean PR issue? But like,
See, we actually spoke about this earlier. I don't know why we wouldn't be able to have community skins integrated, because they're saying, well, what were we saying? We were saying it's already possible because we already have that in the pilot program, right? Like, it's not Ubisoft making the skin.
Like, we already have elements of like, if for example, the skins is no excuse. I feel like game changes, like, creative mode, maybe that takes time, that's fair. But things like skins, bro, surely you can get like a team of 2 people. Like, you have one designer in the game and you have one creative designer making the actual skin. I just refuse to believe that implementation takes that long if it's actually a priority. Like, and we have like you said, like we have like people in the community making skins all the time for the pilot skins. I don't think you have to use all of them, but like they do need to put a lot more work into the skins and the creative, because like I said, the younger players especially, that's what they care about. Like, they do care about that, and it worries me that Ubisoft doesn't see that as like a thing, Like, I think that's a given. I think anybody who understands games and understands the new generation, skins are massively important.
Super important.
Like just cosmetics in the game is super important. And I think that like that kind of raises this. Like, I mean, we can go through like the individual examples, but
so that goes pretty much.
That goes for the sandboxing. Obviously, we touched on the skins a little bit though. How about the game modes?
New game modes. Me personally, I'm not a big fan. I mean, I'm a big fan of the event that they release and stuff, but when we get to the point where it's like reoccurring, that's kind of the issue I have with it.
Yeah, what was the one that we seen with like? I think we've seen all the packs pretty much recycled now. All those event packs.
Yeah, so we had the event packs from the last one, which was the Mute Protocol. It wasn't as many reskinned, but that's not really all it is either. It's also like the playability of the game mode itself. Like, is there anything new?
Yeah, it's always something we've seen.
There's always something we've already seen, which is like a big issue, right? Let me see what else we got here.
I think rank 2.0 is just a massive one. Like, I think that a lot of people agree with that. I mean, like, people are all in the wrong ranks right now.
Yes.
That is for certain. Like, we basically don't have skill-based matchmaking. Like, if we're being completely honest.
Let's be honest. There's no skill-based matchmaking.
10,000 people being the top rank in the game on one platform is obviously a problem.
I think there's more champs than there are Diamond 1s.
Yeah, and because it's like it rewards like time over skill, right? Like that's the way it is. I see a lot of people say like adding a new rank, and I think that is the stupidest shit ever. I'll be honest. Like, that does not change anything.
No.
That just makes the cheaters go for something higher, and the higher players go for something higher. It doesn't actually change anything. We like Champion, when it first came out in Ember Eyes, had literally just over 100 champions, like 109. And now it has 10,000, and I refuse to believe players got that much better. I think that it was just that much harder. Like, having a 1.2 KD in Siege 5 years ago was good.
Yeah.
It was a good KD. Like, a 1.2 or anything positive was good. Now it's like, if you don't have a 1.5, then you're probably trolling the team. Playing against little droids. Champ being added was also a mistake. I actually don't think it was.
I don't think it's...
Champ's cool, bro.
I don't believe, like, if they were to add another rank again, I think it would be fine. It's just... They just need to... I mean, that's good to add excitement for the community, let's be honest. That could be a good thing. But it's also... If you look at the bigger problem, which is the actual, like, how the game mode works, like rank 2.0, and the skill gap, it's just not good.
Fakil said, what do you think the main thing they should focus on is, like, at its core, what's the number one out of all of this? I think if you're looking at long-term and short-term, I think a short-term fix to the cheaters, obviously I don't know what the development times would be like, obviously it'll be a lot faster if they're in focus about it, but I think the sandboxing creative mode pretty much solves a big portion of the cheater issue, because the queues, people have somewhere else to go. They can play in private doing something else.
Yeah.
Like, I think that solves a bit of it in the short term. But I would say rank 2.0 definitely needs to be addressed, adding more playlists like the 1v1, 2v2. I think that these things are all equally, they all carry equal weight, you know?
And it's actually funny that Kill's in the chat, because from a creator point of view as well, if you release a creative mode where there's any map, anyone can make anything. Infinite content.
That means we can literally just make content.
That means we could do what Fortnite's doing. We can do what Roblox is doing.
You can do literally anything, even if the skins, like like when they release a new skin, Ubisoft, and we post a video using the skin, everyone is so happy about that.
And that's the only thing for like 3 months.
Yeah, and that's like the one thing, like it's definitely bad. I think that like people who are acting like there's no problem are part of the problem. Like advocating for Ubisoft is fine. I understand if you're part of their programs and stuff, but we advocate for Ubisoft. We're trying to empower them to make the right changes, but it just felt as though when we had that meeting that they have their roadmap, they're sticking to their roadmap, and that's that.
And it can't really be changed.
It was pretty much just a courtesy call to kind of give us updates and maybe answer questions on what we have, but none of what we said is going to be actioned. None of it. None of it is going to be actioned, and the nearest changes are too far away, and that's exactly why, for example, Macy J is gone. He attended the meeting, and he literally was very honest that if nothing changed and before Battlefield came out, or if there wasn't a significant update on what was going on, but we all read that Ubisoft kind of update, and I just think that it's not enough, It's because they're focusing on the newer Ubisoft games. It's totally different teams. Ubisoft has its own team, and other games have their own team. I bet you could probably make that argument for funding, I guess.
That could be a funding issue.
Yeah, it could be a funding thing. I mean, we wouldn't know about that, but all we can do is assume that they have the resources of a company that has made $3 billion off this game, or something like that. They've made billions at Ubisoft. Like, they have billions at Ubisoft, so all we can do is assume that they have the resources to back these projects. And if they don't, then there's obviously a bigger problem than the game.
Mm-hmm. Who's next to me is my manager.
But and again, in the short term, I feel like making sure, don't get me wrong, the average player is definitely important, but I feel as though the content creators do need to be protected because they are the ones marketing the game. They're the only ones marketing the game. Do you ever see Fortnite adverts, right, on TV, or you see Call of Duty adverts or Warzone adverts? Do you see Siege adverts? Never see Siege adverts.
The only Siege advert I think I saw was Siege X.
Yeah, around the time it launched, maybe a month after. That is all we have. So our only form of marketing at Siege, in Rainbow Six Siege, is our content creators. They're the only marketing that we have. So we need to protect the content creators. And that's why I said in terms of functionality, we need to add a manual ban team. And I think that's got to be a team that is purely dedicated towards banning people, because obviously the anti-cheat is not able to do it. So we need a team that is manually doing this until it's better. That's simple. And I think that every streamer that is part of a Ubisoft approved program needs to have somebody capable of reviewing cheats in real time. This does actually work, and we've seen it in Valorant. A lot of those guys have people in their chat actively banning cheaters.
What did Takeo say? I'd like to know, for someone who really literally does pro play and content creation, what's your thoughts on just constant operator updates, like I'm talking 20 operator buffs, etc. What I've realized, bro, is people think that they're catering for after the pros, which is not the case at all. They are actually catering to the ranked community and the casual community, because they're looking at those shards, hence why they removed Dark ACOG, all those automatic ACOGs.
I'll be honest, I actually hate balancing in games. I think it is stupid. I don't care. I don't think anybody cares what is balanced. Mm-hmm. And if that is the case, if people really only care about balancing of the game and things being OP and broken, then why in a time when we had the most fucking broken game ever, we had Lion, Dokkaebi, Blitz, all that shit, every operator was broken, there was no recoil, Ella had 3 impacts, 51 bullets, no recoil. Why were our player counts highest when the game was not balanced? When we had quick peeking, when we had drop shotting, when we had crouch spamming? If if people care about balancing, then why do we have the players are gone? Because the game's more balanced. But nobody gives a shit about balancing. That's the truth. No one cares about balancing. Everybody just wants the game to be fun. And they've nerfed anything that gets good gets nerfed. And I just think the balancing is just like, it's just terrible. It needs to be like, they need to stop nerfing things by the gun, stop nerfing things by like, I think if every character is just sick, then what's the problem? Like if every character's good, then it doesn't really matter, really, does it? I think you just do whatever players want. If players want a fast, quick peeking game with drop shotting and crouch spamming and all this buggy shit, if that's what makes 300,000 people play the game, then that's what we do. That's the way, in my mind, is the logical way of working it, you know? Like, you can say we're balancing, we're nerfing, we're trying this, we're doing Ranked 2.0. Ranked there was nothing wrong with Ranked. Do you know why they made Ranked 2.0, I believe? Because the queue times were too long.
And there was way more games after, and way more players started playing.
Like Ranked 2.0 obviously allowed for faster queue times, and obviously maybe the matchmaking was a little bit more soft on new players, like less brutal maybe. But I don't think there was a problem with that. I mean, like, if you weren't good, you should just be like gold, and just that's fine. But you could still enjoy the game, you know?
Ooh, this is a pretty interesting statistic right here.
Yeah.
There's about 1.7 thousand skins in CS, 1.1 thousand skins in Valorant, and more than 4,000 skins in R6. There's hella skins in Siege, but the community just isn't based around the skins. There would be creators based around skins if there was an audience.
I massively disagree with that point, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. Those 1,700 skins in CS and those 1,100 skins in Valorant are head and shoulders better than the skins that we have in Siege.
Yeah.
About 2,800 of those skins are commons that are shit that nobody uses. I think there's probably about 100 to 200 skins in Siege that people actually
I mean, there's
use.
only like, what, 3 skins people talk about in this game, and it's what?
Glacier, Black Ice.
I mean, not even Black Ice anymore. Glacier, like Gold Dust.
Chupinazo skin, all the OG stuff, bro. Like, that is all the people uses. I don't think that you can say, oh, we have 4,000 skins. Like, that means no one wants skins. No, our skins are shit. Like, our Siege skins are shit. That is a fact. And the ones that we do have that are good, like, year 1 seasonals, glaciers, couple charms, those were nice. Don't get me wrong, we get the nice skins every now and then. Paragon, for example. The Paragon skin. Paragon skin is the best. Yeah. So, the Paragon skin, right? If you wanted to do this in the way that Valorant would have done it, they would not have given Valkyrie a character skin. Don't get me wrong, that was fine if you want to do all that. They would have made it into a bundle of guns.
Yeah, this is what I was saying too.
Imagine if you could have had the Imagine you spend $50, okay. Imagine you spend $50 or $60 like you do in Valorant, but you get 6 or 7 gun skins. You get a knife.
You always use the guns every single round.
Yes, exactly.
Every single round.
That means that you get, in Valorant terms, you would have got a Paragon knife. You would have got the operator, like a sniper, in Paragon. You would have got a Deagle in Paragon. You would have got the MP, like an SMG, an AR. You would have got so many different things. Mm-hmm. Like that, you would have got a lot of different things in the game. Why is everyone spamming 6-7?
Because you said something 6-7, that's why.
Forget it.
Yeah.
That type of skins doesn't fit in Siege. We are playing the wrong games if we're looking for cool inspecs and visual effects. No, but that's you. This is what I'm saying. It's like, that is you. That is not everyone. I'm saying that if it's that much of a problem, people want tactical realism, surely, I mean, again, we've seen this in games like Call of Duty, you can literally just click on tactical realism, all the skins are gone. No skins.
That way we can cater to everyone.
If somebody wants to dress up as Mickey fucking Mouse, why does that matter to you? It just makes them more killable. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, you can't say it's not the game for that. I think that like just have tactical realism settings. Like surely you just cater to everybody, right?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, this is probably not the smartest thing to say, but I mean, Ubisoft, I do believe, because of how they have their skins set up every year, I do believe it's also like, it's like a system. They know it makes money, all this.
Yeah, it just works.
It just works.
So they don't innovate because they don't need to, because you guys still buy everything anyway.
Yeah.
Bro, we've released, what's that bundle called?
Which bundle?
The tech one.
The tech.
And they have like robot heads and shit.
Yeah, it's the
Protocol.
Mute Protocol.
Mute Protocol. We've seen that shit like 4 times. We should have new skins every month. That should be the way it is. Proper bundles, real stuff. Like real stuff. I think that like that will be a lot better. to be honest. But I just think we need to just start doing what the players want. We can't say that people want, like, whose idea was to remove drop shotting? Whose idea was to remove crouch spamming? Whose idea was to remove quick peeking, like, ridiculously fast? Don't get me wrong, the game had its bugs with that. But why did everyone play then? Why did everybody play the game?
Yeah, why did everyone?
Why did everyone play the game? Like, if the game was so broken and so buggy and there's so many issues and it was a big, massive problem, then why, when we removed all those things, did everybody leave?
I actually want to hear an argument to that.
Like, tell me why everybody left. Like, it's because the game has gone in a direction that is not true to the original goal that the game was designed. You know, like, it doesn't fill the same void it used to. Not anymore.
How do you feel about removing the exclusivity of old skins for old players and now releasing them for anyone to buy in a marketplace sense, I guess?
I don't think that was a problem.
I think that was fine.
I think that was fine, actually. I think that was
if
good.
anything, they need to
Put the market in the fucking game.
That's what I'm saying.
Put the market in the game. Or at least put it in the Ubisoft launcher.
They don't have lots of funding anymore, but the devs love the game.
They don't have lots of funding. Well, then if that is true, I don't know if that is true. But if they don't have loads of funding, then you really have to wonder what game is getting funded over there. Because they've, like, in the most respectful way possible, there's been nothing good come out of there.
This game has generated something like $4 billion.
Really? That much?
$4 billion. I thought it was 3.5. I got corrected, and I heard it was 4 billion. That means this game, over 10 years, have like generated something like what, 400 million a year?
That's just insane.
And also,
over 10 years, that's not much? Are we fucking real, bro? What do you mean that's not much? That's $4 billion, bro. I doubt the game cost anything more than maximum a couple of $100 million to develop. It's a big profit for Ubisoft. It's propped up pretty much all of their following products. And they need to double down on Siege, but I feel like even if that is what they're doing, in my opinion, and in a lot of the creators' opinions that were in these meetings, they think that the direction is wrong. And that is the problem. And I feel like until the roadmap just doesn't feel right.
I mean, let's say there was a funding issue, right? Let's just play with the idea there's a funding issue. Didn't they just also sell something? They sold shares.
Sold more shares to Tencent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sold more shares to Tencent. It's one of the biggest for Ubi with Assassin's Creed and Far Cry. I feel like Assassin's Creed, don't get me wrong, when that shit first came out, bro, first like 4 or 5 games were just insane. I think that's fair to say.
But like, it's just like a one-time purchase. Siege is like every year
is a reoccurring thing.
It's reoccurring,
like,
you know.
Like they're making more stuff and
More people care about Siege. That's how we should see it. We should listen. I'm Ubisoft in this case. I'm looking on over my business overhaul with my other geniuses here next to me. I'm thinking, how can we make the best game but also make the most money? Should we focus on something that makes us 400 million a year? Or should we focus on something that releases a lot of money at the same time? No, bro. Of course, you pick this thing that's consistent. You get every time, and you focus on that. I mean, is that not like basic business?
Yeah, I feel like that. What it feels like to me, you'd be surprised. Assassin's Creed Valhalla made $1 billion. Yeah, but how much did it cost to develop? And I feel like Valhalla was very, very bigged up, and then very disappointing.
And as well on YouTube, no one cares about those two.
Yeah,
games.
like it's socially people don't care about these games. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not even expecting Ubisoft to add more money to marketing or anything like that. But you have like at least if your only form of marketing is these content creators and their audiences, right, are your primary demographic of the people playing the game. You have Meaty Marley, millions of viewers. You have Spoit, millions of viewers. You have Jinxie, millions of viewers. Skittles, Uzi. All these different people. There's loads of different guys that all you guys watch. And, you know, Macy J. Varsity Gaming. Like, we've lost a ton also. But, you know, they're some of the primary names that you see making content all the time. So, and I find it hard to believe that at least the majority of the player base is not watching at least one of those guys. And most of the time, you guys, like you are now, the chat's flying, of telling us what you want to see. And you're telling us what you don't want to see. And I feel as though when we make lists like this, and you guys can see, it seems like you guys do agree. And at large, that seems to be the community sentiment. When you see content creators, a lot of the same points that I'm making here are getting made by them. So it's not just one or two people or just me and Willie. It is genuinely the majority of the community that disagree with the direction of the game. Things are going down, and I feel as though we can't just wait for things to get better.
I'm confused why there's always new bugs and updates. Like, don't even touch the part of the game.
I think when you make something in a game, though, it can break something.
Yeah,
I think it's just
but
the way it is.
see the thing.
No one's complaining about fucking bugs, though.
No, I would agree with that. That is a different point, not as important as the other things we're talking about. But that is also a problem because we have TTS, or now it's called just TS because it's called test server. But that already has a lot of bugs showing in the TTS, and it releases to the live build too. That is also.
I quite liked Barsty's point that they should have just made a Siege 2.
Yeah, we can actually before we
they
start
should have
talking
just-
about that.
yeah,
let me
we'll
just
get the
put
tweet
it.
up here
Yeah,
so
let
you
me
guys
get
can
let me
see.
get the tweet up right now. Let me get the tweet up right
I think
now.
you guys will. Do you know what, bro? Varsity is someone as well who I was like he's been around for a long time and he has very like good points, you know.
There you go.
So this is why Siege 2 would have been better than Siege X. If the game was rebuilt from the ground up, we would get an anti-cheat of this level. That is the thing as well. We don't have a kernel level anti-cheat, so it feels like we're pretty much just fucking pissing in the wind trying to fix the anti-cheat.
Yeah, and basically what this is, yeah, they're talking about kernel level anti-cheats. Yeah, and how now when Battlefield did employ this kernel level anti-cheat, it has prevented over 300,000 cheating attempts during the beta only. And yeah, so that's just what Varsity is talking about.
Siege 2, Siege X, Siege 2 is what we thought Siege X was going to be. Siege X was just an update.
What was actually new with the Siege X?
Nothing. There was no content, no nothing. And now we're getting told that things are launching in year 11.
Someone tell me a good reason to why Siege X should have been released. Someone give me a good
What's the
reason
point?
why Siege X should have been released. And don't mention the pipes. Apart from the pipes, what is new about Siege X?
Reskins, map reskins.
It's not big enough to make a whole new game.
And that's what I'm saying, is that I don't get why Siege X came out, because it didn't do anything. It was an audio remake.
It was a great PR play. Don't get me
bro,
wrong.
yeah.
The PR-wise, Siege X release was bro.
Is it a great PR play when it's just paid marketing?
That's kind
It's
of
just
what it
paid
was.
marketing. That's all it is. Like, we bigged up the event, and don't get me wrong, the event was insane, and what we were promised kind of was insane. When we got to the showcase, however, people were kind of like, they said more things to follow. There's gonna be more. We didn't know that it was going to be the next year. So it was going to be 1 year of Siege X where nothing happens, and then it was going to be the second year was going to be this amazing year. But we're playing the hope game again. We're playing the hope that it's good again. I hope it's good. I hope year 11's good, but can it be too little too late? Yeah, and I know the Siege has a kernel, that's what I'm saying.
There's different types of kernel anti-cheat as well from what I heard.
It has kernel level anti-cheat, but there's levels to quality. Don't spread in misinfo. I mean, it's not misinfo. Okay, so it has a level 1 kernel anti-cheat. It doesn't have the level of kernel anti-cheat that is in modern games. Like, let's be fucking honest. When your PC turns on, the second you turn it on, is the anti-cheat running? Because this is what real kernel anti-cheat level looks like. And we don't have that.
Let me see.
So don't say that. Like, it's like, yeah, I think that it's just like, it's not that, wait, Jinxie has spoken about the funding with Siege. Do they have an issue of money? As the devs and Team Siege are not given enough for UB. Jinxie found this out when he mentioned night maps. I could also see why that could cost more money. Like, developing a night map, I could understand why that costs more money. Because all of the shaders on the entire map change, the textures change, a lot of things change. But I don't think that's even a priority. Can you explain to me why developing these other things would cost buckets and buckets of money? And if they're having funding problems, which is not a public thing, so I don't know where people hear that from. I've not heard that, so I don't know. But if that was the case, then we'd be looking down avenues to make more money, wouldn't we? Not on failing projects like Jewelfront.
I actually like this comment from Corey here. It says, I think instead of the reskins of maps, which don't get me wrong, aren't that bad, but instead of focusing on that one point, I feel like they should have made more maps for the game.
Yeah, more maps over reskin maps would definitely have been, a lot of people would like that.
Yeah,
I think
I do know that they said it takes a while for them to.
I feel like because they're adding like additional map manipulations with these like canisters and stuff. And I'll be honest, if that's what we're getting and that's costing money, stop doing it. Like just admit, just write it off as a bad idea and move on. Like we have to put money towards innovating the game.
CJX was just released because it was the 10th year of the game. They weren't ready to release it. Nothing like this. We still didn't. Oh. So they were always gonna change it to Siege X. Is what he's trying to say.
I mean, I think the funding point is because that tweet about the Phase Boys haven't been made from the Siege X from 10 months ago. I'm seeing that. I mean, I don't know if it's true. I'm hearing that it's not actually Ubisoft's fault. I'm hearing it that it's agencies' fault. Like that it's like agencies that brokered sponsorships that sold these sponsorships to people, and it's Ubisoft getting the bad side of it. I think some people made tweets about it, but you know, we're not here to talk about that so much. I think funding or not, if the funding's low, then they need to find a way of raising more money. Obviously, they're have an intensive relationship with Tencent at the moment, so you just go with that. But I don't think it's Ubisoft. That just seems like a real.
That'd be crazy.
I don't think that's the case. That just doesn't seem right. I think that it is more believable that it's been agencies. So maybe don't believe all the content creators, especially large content creators who can say things that are very damaging and kind of scare people. But I don't think that it's them who offer the money.
Give the money. Okay, this is actually a good comment. Siege currently has a Ring 3 anti-cheat with BattleEye, which works when the application is open. Valorant, for example, has a Ring 0 anti-cheat, which is kernel. This means when you start your computer, the anti-cheat starts. It scans drivers, devices, and applications. Hence the reason Valorant is really hard to make cheats for.
Yeah, because
that's what we mean with the difference.
So basically, what a Ring 0 anti-cheat would do, it would stop all of the bullshit cheats that don't cost anything to make, are not that advanced, and that you can just go and buy on a website in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's like the fly cheats.
Yeah, like it gets rid of all the bullshit stuff, right? That doesn't mean that people can't still DMA. It means that it's a lot harder. And it means that it's a lot more costly for the person trying to do it.
And let's be real here as well. DMAs, it costs a lot of money.
If you're going to that degree to cheat, then you know what? Maybe you just deserve this. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're spending hundreds, and you have to have two PCs, or a laptop at least. Like, you need to pay for stuff, you know.
That being said, your data is being sold to Tencent if you get kernel level anti-cheat.
I'm not against the cosmetics, but shouldn't the core issues be fit first? I fully agree. I just think the cosmetics doesn't need a large team and it doesn't need loads of resources. That's the truth. Don't get me wrong, maybe there is some expenses I'm not taking into account there, but it is not costly to make these things. And that's kind of the whole point. You guys are supposed to buy the skins, and that's how they get paid for.
Talking about the cheating issue with the stuff that we just mentioned, kernel level 0,
Ring 0, yeah.
Ring 0 is basically like the shitty cheats that we just said, the shitty ones. There's websites live right now where you can cheat in Rainbow Six Siege for $5 a day.
And you
$5 a day. No wonder every kid is cheating, bro. Of course, $5, bro. $5 is like, everyone can afford that. A lot of people can afford $5. Not everyone can afford 600 to cheat on. The difference is just like, you know what I mean?
Do you think cheating is the biggest? I think it's definitely the biggest problem. I think it's like 30%.
It's just crazy.
It's a third of the problem. I think lack of content, and then lack of content is definitely the next biggest one. And I think that kind of falls under like the gameplay thing, like rank 2.0 and all these different kind of things. I think that cheating makes up for about a third of the problem. 2/3 is just the game is just boring for a lot of people.
The big issue with cheating as well on PC is it fucks with like the streamers. That's one thing. And it doesn't give a good like what's it called? A good image of the game.
Yeah.
For new viewers.
And that's what I'm saying is that Ubisoft, if like the main thing that you should be doing, doesn't matter if you're a billionaire company or anything like that. What is the best thing that you want to do? Is protect the PR surrounding the company. That is the main thing, because people believe what they hear more than what they see. Like, there'll be so many people that'll see their favorite creator on Twitch dying to a cheater through 1,000 walls, and they'll go, do you know what? I'm not even going to turn Siege on. In fact, I'm not even going to watch Siege videos because maybe there's just too many cheaters. And that is genuinely what is happening. and we're not protecting the marketing of this game, and we're not protecting the image of this game. The cheating problem is obviously, don't get me wrong, the average player is encountering cheaters, but the main reason that everyone is aware of the cheats to such a large degree is because all of your favorite content creators are playing them constantly. Because they're usually high-level players, right? Like, usually high-level players.
That's another thing that I wanted to address. Yeah, it's like a two-way street when you talk about it. So, as much it is like an issue, like the cheaters and all that, if creators also, if that's the only thing they push out to their followers,
It's negatives.
It's a lot of negatives, you know, and that's why we, for example, don't try and do that. I understand if other YouTubers do it. I understand why, because there's nothing else to do content in this game. So the content that you end up making is the experiences you have in the game, because there's nothing else to make of. You can't like make, I tried this new map in Siege for 24 hours and it's like this cool creative sandbox map. Like there's nothing like that in Siege. You've never seen anything like that in Siege. You open up YouTube, what a champion looks like in Siege. What champion plays in ranked, like all that.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I met this racist guy in ranked, blah, blah, blah. Like this happened, you know?
if we're saying like a big problem is like lack of resources and lack of time for people to develop these things, then I do believe that creative mode needs to be made now. Like it needs to be the first thing. Get it out, get it made, because then it takes so much of the stress and the burden of making new content all the time off of Ubisoft. You guys are going to expect way less from them if community developers become a thing and they just make the stuff. Because that will be their focus. You know, they'll be focused on making this map, that one community developer.
There's no reason for the community not to help out in the game that they love, to make new ideas, bring ideas into the game. You know, like there's no reason for that not to be the case. For example, let's say they don't have the resources or they don't have the time, like they can't like make it happen themselves. If we just get the community to like, if we just get Ubisoft to upvote, like let's say the best 5 skins, they don't even have to be a part of the process of making that skins, which is not, they don't have to spend any money basically. And they can take like, let's say like 20% from what that one skin's made. They're gonna make more money and they don't have to use any of their money. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can do that for workshop maps, like sandbox maps. You can make that for the skins in game. I believe the skin's gonna be way better as well doing that.
I just think it's a low cost thing to do.
Yeah.
And it just feels like, do you guys really need a massive team and millions of dollars to make some fucking skins that are decent? Like, and people go, oh, it's not that kind of game. But bro, we're losing players to our competitors that have these
Every
things.
other game is doing it. Why do we have to be not
the odd one out? Yeah, like why do we have to be
the odd one out?
Like the worst thing that you do by making loads of cosmetics that are flashy, guess what happens? The worst thing is that people don't buy them. And guess what? You will all buy them because I will buy them. Everyone's gonna buy them because it's better than having nothing. The Paragon skin. Do you know how many people complained and went, "Oh my god, that's $50. I'm gonna buy it." Like, it's not like the money is not there. Like, they have to find better ways of generating revenue if there's revenue problems. I just find that hard to believe. Like, if that's the case, then there's obviously a bigger problem going on. I don't think that is the case at all. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, I still got it. Yeah, Lottie was another one. She was like, wow, £50, I'm going to buy this. Like, that's what people do. I'd rather have no new content for like 4-6 months and have a fixed anti-cheat than a new op. The thing is, like, this is what people have to understand. The anti-cheat cannot be fixed. The anti-cheat is fundamentally the problem. That's fundamentally the problem. The only thing that we need, and again, it's like one of those things, why do we not have a Ring 0 anti-cheat? Like, I think that does definitely help. And that's, yeah, I think that's the best way that we need to go. And I don't really want to go too, like, round in circles on too many of these problems, but, like, for me, the way I see it is, we've had high player counts in the past. The game was not the game that we have now. It was a completely different game. Why did we come to where we are now if people liked that?
Yeah.
If the masses preferred the game this way, then why have we changed? And that is what I want to know. And obviously, like I said, and the reason why it's been kind of done is, from Ubisoft's standpoint, balancing, getting rid of bugs, all these different things. But it just seems like nobody seems to care about that. Do they? No. Does anybody go, wow, this game is so great?
I mean,
now.
when I open
so
up
free of bugs.
when I open up Twitter, it's like
It's
I
just
don't see people talking about bugs.
Bro, and the drop off is that, like, what's happened is that content creators off the back of kind of when Jinxie was around,
obviously he boosted the economy a lot. He brought eyes to everybody, and brought a lot of eyes back to Siege. New eyes annulled. People found their love for the game again, whatever it may be. And now that we've lost him, obviously we're feeling the effects of that. I think when we know we hadn't had him for a while, I think numbers were still fine. But I do think that a lot of the content creators, as a result of having high numbers, were kind of a bit, they weren't maybe thinking of the issues so much, because people were still around, and we made do. But now everyone's noticing, and numbers are down everywhere. Down on Twitch, down on YouTube, down on TikTok, down everywhere. And I do think it's just like, you guys tell me. I mean, are you guys going to be brought back in 6 months' time by ranked? If and again, we don't know what that's going to look like. We've just been told that it's going to hopefully be better. Like, is that enough to bring you guys back? Like, is more updates to fucking Dual Front? Is that what's going to bring people? Is that what people want to see? Is it because Dual Front was not what you envisioned it to be? Like that's what I'm saying. I feel like,
we don't need new players. We need to make it playable for the core audience, make the basic game work, then we can worry about new players.
It all works hand in hand. Like,
I don't think there's like one thing you can focus on. I think you should just focus on everything. You should focus on maintaining as well as growing.
Yeah, you can't just focus on like maintaining. You have to do everything, right? And I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people saying that they like customs and stuff like that. And I feel like, let's be honest, Jinxie was here for the best part of his entire career, obviously. But like, when things were really at the peak, that was custom game content.
Yeah,
it was all custom game content. How is that not a signal within your mind to go, oh my god, we have literally struck gold? This dude called Jinxie has attracted literally millions of people to watch this game. Bro, we had Click, Stable Ronaldo, all these guys who have fucking nothing to do with the game at all, never liked it, never cared, came was like, wow, this game is actually pretty fucking sick. Yeah. We had everybody, bro. We had everybody loving Siege, and I don't know, and that was, again, that all came from custom maps, custom games.
It was never ranked. Never.
Yeah, it was never ranked. It was never any of the settings within the game. It was people doing what they wanted to do within custom games. All we should have done was really integrated and pushed on that. Like, we got a new lease of life. Siege was kind of in a declining / maintaining state for about a year and a half following COVID, and then the birth of Jinxie happened. And then he blew the game through the fucking roof. Through the roof. And, we just need, it feels like the obvious thing, like I said, was to really lean into the fact that Jinxie had brought this audience. And again, you guys didn't come and watch Jinxie and go, wow, how great is this ranked? No one was doing that. People going, wow, these 1v1 tournaments were dope. These show matches where I'm seeing content creators from completely different games coming over are amazing. Like, that is what it was all about. It was the main hot topic. We had all the eyes. Like, during Siege X, like, around that time, we literally were massive. Had the game ever felt like that?
I wanted to say, with the dual, like a lot of people talk about. So the way I see it is, until this day, we have a younger audience and we have an older audience, and we call the older audience the core members of the community. And I know Ubisoft probably is leaning on that side because they removed Quick Peek. They said you should be able to do all this crazy. So obviously they're on that side. That's what I believe from that. And they say Siege should be like this 5v5. It should be like this thought out, like team-based game. Then why do you also release 6v6 Siege on a massive map? And that is the game mode that they tried more than any other game mode they've released in this game. Because other game modes are like the ones we're seeing tomorrow. The what's it called?
The new event.
The new event, Halloween.
We've seen that.
So
we've seen that already. Is it the Doctor's Curse again?
It's Doctor's Curse.
Yeah, it's the Doctor's Curse. But again, that's fine. It's Halloween, whatever, right? Like, and people like it. But like, new cosmetics along with that, which is to be expected, I feel like.
Yeah, cool new zombies, like all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, it just feels like we're going in the wrong direction. It's not that, like, things are obviously happening at Ubisoft right now. There's 2 points to that. It's too slow, way too slow, and the roadmap just feels wrong to begin with. It just feels like what we're working towards. Like now that we know what is coming, it just feels like.
And also from hearing stories from other professional players in the scene and some of the biggest creators, Jinxie, he even said it on stream, it's like they bring a lot of these ideas, but nothing really gets implemented. When my teammates, for example, went to a pro player, to a pro player thingy to try out the new season and all that stuff, he also brought up the fact that people use this canceling thing to cancel legit games in ranked, and they didn't even know about that. And so that's one thing. And then Jinxie, like I said, he was giving ideas of what he believes should be implemented into the game as the biggest streamer in the world at the time, and nothing gets implemented either. So I think it's like also there might be like some sort of communication error. I don't know if that's the case, but that's just something I think might be. Not sure. Should we maybe like read up some comments maybe?
He said R6 cares more about the new audience than the core. That's why they brought out dual. That's why they had dual front updates. I mean, I feel like that is why they added it. They tried to do it as like a softer way of introducing people to the game. Maybe the 5v5 was too hardcore, but I'll be honest, bro. Like that's just the game. Like why? Like I don't feel like building an entire 6v6 game mode with respawning makes the game any more easier to learn. And it also doesn't apply at all to the actual 5v5 game whatsoever.
No, it's a different.
That's what quick match was for. Or standard. Game. Like those game modes are for that. Like dual front, there was no necessity for that. Maybe some people do like it. I'm not even beating on it, but like the attention that it gets is for a secondary game mode. It's just crazy. Just get rid of that thing, man. Like if it's taking time and resources away from actual things, like can we just move towards something else? Do you think making R6 free was a mistake? No, I don't. All the best games are free. CS is free. You have to pay for premium, however. That would be good.
Well, you do that for Siege now.
You have to pay for premium too?
Yeah, to play ranks.
Oh yeah, you have to pay. It's like, how much is it?
Like, isn't it like 25, guys?
25? That's about right then.
25 US, I think.
Yeah. So like, I mean, yeah, I think making it free was fine. Making it free was fine. I mean, all the biggest games are free, you know? Like, we'd have to compete with free titles as a non-free title. Like, that's just not gonna happen. Fortnite, Valorant, CS, like
$20.
They're all free. Yeah, it's like the same as premium, right, for CS.
I don't know if it's relevant, but once in a live stream, Shaiko said he didn't quite like the game now like he used to because of how slow and boring it became. It doesn't feel like an FPS shooter the same way CS feels. I wouldn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, yeah. I mean, it's still like the FPS is very prominent in the game, and that's always gonna be the case for when a game has been out for so long. It's like the skill gap's obviously going to get better and better, like or higher and higher. Like that's obviously going to happen.
And the reason he slowed the game was to close the gap. That's the same thing with rank 2.0 was to close the gap.
Yeah, why would you need to close the gap?
But always closing the gap. It's like that, and that's kind of it, you know. Like it's yeah. That's what we've seen. We've seen like a decrease in skill that it takes to hit champion, a decrease in skill that it takes to have a high KD.
Decrease in flashiness on like leans, peaks.
You could literally watch Bolo play, and you could just by watching him play for 10 seconds, then watching the average player play for 10 seconds, you would know he was better. You would know he was amazing at the game. And I feel like when you watch like champions and stuff like that now, they all look the same.
Yeah,
they all look the same. Like there's nothing like really. The skill ceiling is like gone. Core mechanic. Like what made when Siege first released at that E3? Do you remember that?
E3, yeah.
When it like what we seen then, and then kind of like how the game evolved in the first like 1 to 3 years. That is not even close to the same game we have now. Not even close. Not close at all. That's kind of the big problem, you know. And I don't think that people want to move on from Siege. That's what people don't realize. Like, it's like,
No, because Siege has always been, historically, it's always like died off, came back, died off, came back.
But it's kind of like, what's the catalyst for the next time? Jinxie was the catalyst last time. You know? He was the difference.
Siege X was the last one. Before that was
Jinxie. But Siege X was the last one. Before that was Jinxie. So it's kind of like, what is our catalyst now? Obviously, a Jinxie return, we'd have to incentivize a Jinxie return. And I don't know how we do that now, because it's obvious that he's got a great relationship with Clash Royale, probably getting paid fucking buckets load of money. And guess what? He's actually having fun.
Yep.
What is the incentive for somebody like him to return? You know what I mean? Like,
They probably have him on a contract too at this point.
bro,
so-
if I'm Ubisoft and I have a character like Jinxie playing my game, we've had some rough years, and then all of a sudden we get this guy who is the biggest streamer in the world, and he's on our game.
I'll be shaking ass.
Bro,
right
you
there.
get this guy a contract with the game. You pay him whatever you need to pay him, and he has a say. Like, this guy needs to have a say. And like, you know, when you, I do believe they asked him for some stuff. Like, they asked him what he thought, and he's publicly said that they just didn't take any of it in, not even 1%. Yeah, and they just give him a bunch of excuses. There was nothing really that ever happened, and it just feels like, in my opinion, I feel like a lot of the changes that are happening are self-serving. Like, it's obviously someone at the company thinks these are good ideas. They're not. They are not good ideas, and that's why we're seeing a decline in player count. And you know, like I said, this is not being done as a negative towards Ubisoft, but it's like when things are going bad and all these different things, and people go, oh, you know, you shouldn't be like a doomer and like bring the game down and stuff like that. And that's not even the intention. This is like, it's now or never.
I do believe things do be taking too long, because I just thought someone just mentioned in the chat, but Jinxie did get a skin chill. How long did it, since Jinxie blew up in like late 2023, he finally got it. How many months ago?
Like just after Siege X dropped.
Nah, it wasn't right after Siege X.
Like 3 months into Siege X.
Was it like 3 months into Siege
And he's not
X?
even promoting it because he's not even playing the game.
Yeah. I don't know if that, I don't know what took them so long to release it, but like Jinxie spawned in on Siege with like fucking thousands of viewers, bro. He fucking crushed the #1 streamer in a second, bro. 5K, boom. That was all it took. Boom. He went up to 50K, boom. 100K, boom. 120K, boom. IRL stream with the Jinxie verse, 200K, boom. Why do you not put someone who's done a Jinxie IRL on his own? He's that big, bro. Put him in a contract, bro. Like,
bro, just give him a say. Get him involved.
Get him.
Get this guy involved, bro. Because like, that is a level of marketing. Like, bro, you pay this guy. Even if you pay this guy $1 million however often, you get that back. You get that back.
It's like that.
You get
like
it back because he's the only. Obviously, all the other content creators are great, but when you have someone like Jinxie, it's just a bonus. It is like you literally have a guy who is big and by himself that he can just go to. Bro, he was calling up people like Aiden Ross and being like, hello there, Aiden. Would you like to play Rainbow Six Siege? Aiden Ross, why the fuck would he...
Well, he got Kai Cenat and...
why would they ever have played it before? They wouldn't have.
Yeah.
And they were like, wow, this game's actually sick. So much so that they even knew who people like Stompin' were and knew who people like you are. And these are people that are like the giants. Do you know what I mean? And like, that is where the game was at. Like, yeah, when he had Shaiko versus Bolo, he had 200k. Bro, he had multiple streams between 200 and 100k. All Siege related, and Siege capitalized on that exactly 0%. The game didn't change, nothing came out, nothing changed.
yeah.
And like, and if they're saying these things take longer, then we need to, why? Or how do we speed it up? How do we give a real roadmap with things on it that people are going to be excited about? Even if like we look at the roadmap that we've been given, is anybody excited about what's on there? We have a ranked reware coming up in year 11. We don't actually know how that's going to be.
One map a year.
It's not enough. It's not enough. What else is he saying? Bringing back scopes and stuff, I just don't think matters.
You're probably the most popular pro league player in the world. Why not speak up more to the devs? Why not boycott if Ubi learns that they can't get away with this kind of complaint? Chat, do you want me to be honest? I don't have that many good contacts to any.
And boycotting the game doesn't do anything.
We don't want to boycott the game either. We don't want to
we don't want to do that. We don't want to sour our relate, bro. We're trying. This is what I'm saying. Some creators are going, fuck Ubisoft, I'm out of here. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We want to be involved, and we want to try and make a positive change, regardless of if everyone just goes, oh, just give up and leave the game, then we're going to lose the game that we want.
Yeah, we don't want to boycott it.
We don't want to boycott it. We don't want to go to another game. We don't want to do all these different things, bro. Like, we just want to be in the game that we've been on for 10 years, bro. We've been on this game for 10 years. Why should we have to leave because things are like this? Why should all of the hundreds of thousands of players that have played leave? Why should Valorant have more players than us? Why should CSGO have more players than us? When we were in that conversation, you know? Like, we were in that conversation. And it just seems like, you know, it's just very disappointing. And I don't think that people should stop playing. I know it's hard not to, guys. Like, we want to inspire people to play, you know? We don't want to inspire people to not play, but it's obviously hard to do that when even the things that we're asking for don't come into the game, you know? Like, we're trying to... I feel like a lot of what we've mentioned here is what the audience truly wants.
Yeah.
Like, that is what the audience wants, and I feel like when I speak to Ubisoft, they just get told a whole different thing. I don't know where it comes from. And yeah, it's just difficult, you know? Like, it's a really difficult situation, and it's difficult to do it and say it in a way where that it's not, like, super aggressive, and, like, because you want these people to take you seriously, right? Like, you want them to, but, like, it just seems like they don't value the opinions enough to actually do something with them and implement the opinions. It's only kind of like if one of your opinions that you share is like on their remit, like if it's in their scope, then they'll take it. They're like, oh, we're already thinking about that. But the things that they're not thinking about that you've alluded them to, they don't want to hear that. And it's
is there anything we have missed? I feel like there's something. There's gotta be something. Is there anything?
That's some questions from the chat.
Do you think the majority of ops are underpowered? I mean, would you like to answer that, or should I do it? Because I probably have a different view on it, because I'm a pro.
Yeah, you play a lot more than me these days, so yeah, just you know, give your opinion.
I do think right now guns are definitely like one of the more important stuff. I mean, you do kind of need like an X amount of operators in a pro environment, and then guns, obviously. But if they're underpowered, I think the utility is fine. Honestly. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I don't think
it's like. I feel like the issues are not like the nitty gritty things, you know, like removing the shotgun off Legion or getting rid of impacts. I don't think any of those changes actually affect the game, to be perfectly honest. I don't think people stop playing the game because Legion lost shotgun or he lost impacts. You know, it's a bigger issue than that.
This might be dumb, but there are smaller games that hold update review after a few days / weeks with player base and content creators one-on-one and let them ask questions and seek answers. I do think R6 should hold them as well to get a better idea of what they can do. See, did we do that with a... Okay, we don't really do that. We did it like not too long ago. But that was like, there was basically all the creators, boom, in one call, and then, yeah, everyone... It's not really the best way of getting feedback.
Like, I don't agree with the premise that, like, everyone's opinion is, like, equal. And maybe people think I'm a dickhead for that. I don't think that you can value everyone's opinion equally, because if everyone's opinion counts for the same, then no one's opinion means anything. Nothing ever gets done. Because, you know, it's like everyone is going to be stuffing in what they think, and especially if people have opposing points.
Yeah.
Then how do we get anywhere? And on the call with Ubisoft, that was the case. I feel like the larger creators agreed on some things, and some of the smaller creators maybe, without sounding like, you know, a dickhead again, but they just had opposing viewpoints. But it feels like the majority of people, I'm not going to name anyone that was in the call or kind of like that, they can come out and say what they want to in their own time, but like, you know, I just think that there's too much difference in opinion, and you have to pick one. You have to pick one vision and go with that vision. I just think that the vision that has been selected right now at Ubisoft is not the right one. Like, it's just, we're going the wrong route, and they can't argue with that because the views are down, player counts are down, everything is down. So we do need a change in direction. We can't keep going the way that we're going. That should just be something that is a given. I imagine Ubisoft probably have like a stop loss of when, like, you know, the board intervenes at some stage and kind of looks to restructure things, because they probably haven't hit a certain level where like they're losing so much money, you know.
Yeah, they're still making they're
still making.
They're hitting
their quotas.
Yeah,
they're still hitting their quotas. So like until that happens, we won't see a shake up. Like, at least not a shake up that is like forced. So yeah, I just think we're just gonna keep going in this thing, you know. Surely the creator opinions aside, the numbers don't lie. When Siege is at its best, and then they just replicate it again to an extent. Well, that's exactly what my point is. Is that don't we just go to a period of the game where the most people were happy? Like, I don't think people in Win Bastion were genuinely upset. Like, I think 90% of players were happy. Yes, there was some cheaters, but it was not that often. Obviously, the accessibility of cheats and stuff like that has not helped. But the player base shrinking and then the amount of cheaters increasing, yes. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Constant encounters with cheaters. So, yeah. The biggest takeaways, really, for me is kind of like the direction needs to change. If they want to change the cheaters situation, stop trying to fix the anti-cheat, stop doing this mousetrap stuff, and just bring out Ring 0 anti-cheat. I think that's just... Maybe it's expensive, like I said.
Ring 3 is what we need, you mean?
No, is it Ring... No, Ring 3 is...
We have a Ring 0.
No, we don't have Ring 0. We have Ring 3.
Oh, so it's... Okay, I see how... Okay, yeah. So
yeah, we need Ring 0.
We have Ring 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So... It's getting to that point, you know? Like, where we just need to go back to a time when the game was favored by the fans, and then we build from there. I think building from a position where everyone's already unhappy is just, like, counterintuitive now.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if they turned around and said tomorrow, like, randomly, oh yeah, by the way, guys, we're putting the game back to Win Bastion. Everything about the game's going back to Win Bastion. That's not even like we add something. We just literally revert. We'd have more players. 100% we'd have more players.
Do you think if they fix Siege completely to an idealistic standard, all these content creators would put their faith in it again, or people like Jinx will continue to focus on other ventures? They won't come back because at the end of the day, for a lot of creators, it is going to be a money play. And when you are making like 3 times or 4 times the amount of money on Clash Royale
make sense.
That you make on Siege,
it'll be different if he was just playing it for money as well. He genuinely enjoys Clash Royale.
Yeah.
So there is that to consider. But I would say at large, the answer to your question is yes. Like, people would come back. I think people would put their faith in it. But not when... If we're saying that ranked is going to take this amount of time, then, like, if we want to add some creative modes or skins, and if everything that we want, all we get back is, oh yeah, it's going to take a year, 6 months, a year, 2 years. Like, the implementation... Like, people have... Bro, we live in a TikTok generation where people want things now. Not in a year, not in 6 months. Like... I think it's just we are expecting too much of people to wait that long, especially when it is a hit and hope. People don't know what they're waiting for. People like Jinxie, people like Macy J have decided that they do not want to wait anymore. They've waited long enough, nothing changed, and they don't feel like something's coming. Mm-hmm.
If you had to make ranked team, but what feature would you take from 1.0 to 2.0? What features would you add? I don't think I need to explain all that. I would just say we need like a new rank 3.0. That's all we need. I don't want to go into like small details of every like.
Yeah, like we're not technical people in that sense, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not.
we just know
I don't know what like needs to be added. That's not my job.
Something closer to 1.0.
Something closer to 1.0.
Do you know what? And if you can't figure it out, what makes sense, then just go back to 1.0.
I can give you a tip. Like, I can give you a hint. Maybe Siege going forward might be like. Maybe you should have a different queue system, like Valorant. Maybe. I don't know. Dual queue only. That way it forces people to communicate. And that way you can't 5-stack your way to champ and play against coppers in a solo queue. Maybe that's already that's a little tip. I mean, but anything but this, what we have right now, in my opinion.
They're doing that in 10.4, I think. They said year 11, no?
Yeah, year 11. Right?
They said year 11. I think it was projected originally for year 10, season 4. Yeah, and hidden MMR's gotta go. Yeah. That's gotta go. Like, what's the point in MMR then? What is the point in actual ELO?
I don't know.
And I hate
them more for casual game, but sure.
Do you know what the biggest problem that they had was? Is that they made it so that champion players need to go through fucking copper to get to their actual rank.
Bro,
that
what about the coppers
insane.
that you... Bro, what about the actual coppers that you're gonna play then?
Yeah, they get smoked, and there's nothing they can
And they're
do.
gonna be, oh, dude, this game sucks.
Well,
I'm gonna hop off. This guy's cheating, like...
Yeah, because you're ruining the player experience all around. Like, and, you know, we have to... And by the way, guys, I think a lot of people see this. When champions and pros play against plats, they are not having any fun. When you guys are cancelling on them, believe me, they are not having fun against you either. Like, they are bored as you. Like, how it's boring for you to get smoked, it's boring for them to smoke you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, they want to play against people of their own level. That's the whole point. Like, they're competitive players, you know? It's a competitive game.
What do you think would be done with Pro League? Pro League's not going to change.
I don't think Pro League changes.
Pro League is not. It's only going to change, like, if something super drastic changes.
It's its own ecosystem.
Yeah, because Pro League, it's its own ecosystem. Has all of its contracts already set in stone. I don't think they're gonna like lower the funding of the SIs or anything, because they still make that much of the skins. Like, that's like a minimum thing that they have every time, 3 mil for SI.
I think even if like I feel like it's like pro players it scratches the surface of like finance, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it really like costs them an arm and a leg to run. People hate losing.
Rank does feel more like a battle pass rather than ranking up, for sure, 100%, because you go through every single rank.
And there's also no repercussion for losing. Like, if you lose, you're like, oh, let's win the next one.
Yeah.
Like, that should not be the attitude. They should be like, oh my god, losing is terrible. I'm not going to go play in higher lobbies, because if I lose, it's not worth it.
Yeah, and then in order to counter that, you have to have a crazy stack. And you guys always try hard, you know, which makes it more competitive.
Is there ever been like a game where cheating got worse? Like,
I mean, let's be honest, cheating, like, that has been an issue in this game for 10 years straight. Like,
I feel like it just wasn't as like, don't get me wrong, the type of cheaters were definitely crazier, like the fly hackers and stuff, but like, I don't think that there was more of them than now.
There would just be less cheaters because there's no incentive to cheat. Why would these cheaters cheat in a creative mode sandbox match? Why is there to cheat for? They can't boost their people to like champ for like $10 a game. They can't do that because no one cares about ranked anymore. Now they focus on creative mode. Therefore, you move people so there's, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's like, do you think Siege can make comeback, get loads of players again and make the game fun? Yes. Like, the answer to all those kind of like, can it make it back? Can it? The answer is always going to be yes. Like, it's already been great, so it can be great again. That's just the way it works. It's just about, you know, it's whose plan is this, and like, what makes that person the person to make these decisions, you know? Like, because I feel like you can be a great person from a game development standpoint. Like, you can actually make a game, right? You can make it into existence. I don't think that necessarily means that you have great ideas. I think that's two different things. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like these developers, like, we could never do what they do, ever. But I don't think that doesn't mean that we don't know what to do, what the right thing to do is. I think that we are definitely plugged into the community, like, in a much deeper sense than Ubisoft in that sense. Like, you know, deal with you guys every day, all day, every day, across several platforms. Like, and again, like, look how many messages that we've just seen here. Like, there is nothing like this where we can go through and have like an open dialogue, you know, and talk about it and stuff like that. Yeah, console players and PC lobbies, like, I don't know why that is even allowed. And you can't turn it off, right?
No, PC players can't turn it off.
They can't?
No.
See, that's
console players can't.
Yeah, see, so how does that
I think
work?
that was another reason for them to make, I mean, the player base, I mean, like, again, the queues might have been longer because people are leaving, so in order to make that up, they just
like, yeah, put console on PC.
Yeah. And we all know that console is 50% of the player base already.
Is it 50%? Is it not more than that?
Well, like, PC is, I don't remember exactly, but I remember seeing.
I think PC is definitely less than 50%.
No, PC is like 25.
Yeah.
PC is like 25.
I think the vast majority is console, like 70%, 75%. I think that, like, that should be allowed. Like, you should be able to go, like, platform to platform. I just think that both sides should be able to turn it off. Like, why do I get some fucking, you know, person on my team?
Ubisoft makes so much money from other games they don't really lose anything by neglecting Siege.
No, they don't make money from other games. That's exactly like the point.
That's why we're trying to like make them invest as much time as possible and resources into the game that's making them money every year. It's always reoccurring.
Bro, if I swear to God, if you had Jinxie in an office with like the guys who can actually make decisions, like at the time with maybe not just Jinxie, other creators too, at the time when the game had real traffic, do they think? So let me explain this. When Jinxie came in, did the game change in some drastic way? No, It was the same game, right? It was the same game before he came, the same game after he came. Nothing changed from a game standpoint. The reason why people came was purely because there was more attention hyper-focused into Siege. Siege became the game of the moment, right? Because somebody like Jinxie can do that.
Like Battlefield is now.
Yeah,
Like
but
Call
no,
of
but
Duty
it's,
is now.
it's like some games come and go. But like,
Yeah.
look at like, bro, I did Clash Royale. I knew what it was. I wasn't playing it. No one I knew played it. Bro, we have the average guy playing Clash Royale now. That is what having someone like Jinxie does. My friends play Clash Royale.
Yeah.
Pro players
Every
are playing
pro player.
Clash Royale. Like, all the content creators are playing Clash Royale because that is the effect of having a massive content creator. What are Clash Royale doing right now? They're leaning into Jinxie. They're speaking to him. There's an open dialogue. They pay him. They're giving him like, bro, just today he did like an opening, like the PO box. They sent him a fucking real life Clash of Clans chest with loads of stuff in it, like 5 huge boxes of things. And don't get me wrong, maybe they have more money or whatever, but I don't think it just comes down to money. It's about attention to the detail, attention to this creator who's bringing all these eyes to our game.
Yeah.
You have to look after them the same way they look after you.
You have to bounce a little bit.
Yeah, you have to do.
You have to bounce a little
You have to
bit.
give them something, you know. And I just feel like it's such a shame to see Jinxie gone. Is Jinxie Glaive stream? I mean, it's just facts, no?
Yeah, it is
It's just the
facts.
facts, the fact of the fucking matter, bro.
I mean, the way I've seen it is like, I might be missing some points here, but like, Siege have had some very big opportunities that I don't feel like they have really capitalized on. So back in the day, 2019, crazy viewership, like prime time, 2018, whatever. We had like these big ass creators, bro. We had Marley, bro. These guys are putting
Molly
like,
actually making content
Bro,
all the time because there was
bro,
that much to do.
putting tens of millions of video, bro. Like tens of millions. It goes from that, boom, COVID happens. Siege has another. Well, before we go to that,
Micro.
2021, 2020, leading into 2022, the game obviously went down a little bit compared to the previous years. 2022 comes around, or whenever COVID came around, the players just went up immediately. Everyone's inside playing video games. That's a time to capitalize. You know, to keep as many players as you can. And then Jinxie came around a little bit later after the Siege, because Siege almost died in like, it was like 2023, late 2023. It was not the greatest.
No,
Jinxie was
the
still-
whole of 2022-23 was just a write-off,
Yeah, and then 2024 came around,
and it was like instant.
and then Jinxie started to blowing up like crazy. And then Jinxie was the next boom, right? He did his thing. He brought so many viewers to the game, and then they capitalized off that with the Siege X, and Siege X brought back so many viewers. There's so many eyes. You had Jinxie co-streaming the Siege X event for like 130,000 people. You had the main channel on 100,000 people. And then you had a bunch of big creators with like 20K, 15K, 10K, 8K, 8K. And like, when Siege X releases with that many eyes on them, you can't have the reoccurring issues cheating. That can't be, that needs to be fixed. If
They
something,
made it seem like Siege X there was not going to be a single cheater.
yeah, and it's just,
They even did that little speech when he was
and
like,
I'm scared that was the last straw that they had, because now they don't have Jinx anymore. So all the viewers he already has by default, let's say 50K watching him stream Siege, those players are gone already.
yeah, they've gone with it.
So now we're back to block one, and I don't know if Ubisoft have another big chance at bringing this many viewers back to the game again. I don't know what that could be.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the catalyst going forward? Like, what's the big event or the big thing? Like,
I don't see it.
What is that? Like, other
Yeah.
than like all of these changes getting made overnight, then what is the thing that brings the big boom?
Yeah,
Because we're trying. Like, I'll be honest, bro. We're always gonna try. Like, we're always going to try. Always gonna try and do the best content, biggest things, and try and attract those eyes. But like, it doesn't mean that that's easy to do. It doesn't mean that like, and I don't think that you can manufacture something like Jinxie.
No.
I don't think that you can just build that. I think that's just something that happens. It's either made for you or it's not, you know. So it's just like it's that difficulty.
Yeah. I think that was a little good talk. I don't think there's anything else we need to.
Yeah, we don't want to turn it like a monologue and just keep going on and on and on, you know, like. But
We did bring up some good points, I feel like, and if there's anyone else that has some other good points, feel free to comment in the comments, because this is gonna be a VOD after, so you guys can watch it back.
Please watch Fet's video. I think that what we'll do is we'll get Willie on stream tomorrow to take a look at it.
Yeah, I can take a look at it.
He can take a look at it for you guys, and I think that's probably better. I've probably already rambled on too much here, to be honest. Can we get a YouTube video? Yes, you can. You can get a YouTube video. We'll make this into a video, and then maybe you guys can kind of condense the points in a bit better that way. But yeah, man, like I said, we'll keep trying to do what we can do. Just felt like this stuff needed to be said because, like, you know, it's driving us insane thinking that, like, maybe we don't have any idea what we're talking about, you know? Maybe we're completely wrong, but this stream, I think, clarifies that we're not.
Yeah, because I feel like all the viewers, they agree.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, like I said, we probably, if there's anything we missed, if we had any bad takes, let us know. So yeah, let us know. And also, for all the pro players out there, for all the content creators out there, if you're on the microphone, spread the word of Save Siege. Spread the words of Save Siege. You win a Pro League game, G2 versus Falcons, Save Siege by the end of the interview. Come on, man. We just gotta spread the word here. I want what's best for the game. Before we finish as well, we want what's best for the game. We're not trying to boycott the game. We're not trying to do anything like that. We just want what's best for the game. That's all we want. Because we love this game. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been playing this game for 10 years. So, yeah. We just want what's best for the game. And that's it.